Hi guys, we are here at May in December studio in PJ, and we have here Shamay. She's the florist, and we're going to talk about how she embarked on this journey with May in December. So Shamay, would you like to talk about how what you were doing before, your background, and how you come into May in December?
Sure. Hi everyone, I'm Shamay, and I am professional. Actually, my background is in nursing. Before I went into floristry, so I was working in Singapore as a nurse for almost 7 years. Yeah, 7 years. Before coming back to Malaysia to start my own business.
Is there like a reason why you left nursing to do? Is there a strong reason? Was it just because of your passion?
Yeah, actually purely because I really love flowers. So it wasn't like because I hated my job or I was like tired of nursing, but really I just really wanted to try out floristry as a business, as a career. Even though yes, it started as a passion, as a hobby, but then I felt like I wanted to do it every day, and then it as a hobby, or it doesn't allow me to really like deal with it every day. So the ways that I can think of is to A, work for someone who is a florist full time, or B, just like start my own company.
When you were in Singapore, you worked for someone else first, right?
Yes. So after working as a nurse, maybe for about 5 years or so, I joined another florist full time, just to kind of like, I think also like a sort of like a validation whether like, okay, I really like this, and like I really want to like take it as my own. Like start my own business with this. So
sort of testing the waters, right? Whether this is what you really want.
Exactly.
Okay. So when you came back to Malaysia, did you had a thought whether you want to continue working for another florist or do it yourself completely?
I did think about working for another florist, not full time. I thought of like, okay, maybe I can work for another florist or like an events company that requires a florist, maybe as a part time, and then still run my own business as a full time. But so I tried. I applied to a few, but then I think because when they hear like, oh, I have my own florist already, then they didn't want to. Not they didn't want to. I think it's more like, okay, not so suitable to hire me because maybe they feel like I may not be able to commit full time.
Do you think that there's a difference between the industry of floristry in Malaysia and also in Singapore? Were they as welcoming? Is there any difference?
I don't really have that much contact. In Singapore, I've only had that maybe like 2 years or so. But from that experience, that I had in Singapore, I do feel like the florists in Singapore may be a bit more open to collaborating with other florists as compared to here. Here, I don't know, maybe over here I still feel like I'm just a small player in the game, so I don't really dare to like put myself out there or approach other people, if that makes sense. But then like,
it's like you have a sense that everybody wants to just stay in their own lane.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, you don't bother me, I don't bother you. But recently I did like here in KL, I did actually encounter or rather like make friends with like 2 other florists, and somehow like we all kind of like have the same mindset that like, hey, why can't we like help each other out or build each other in this community? And so that's great. But other than that, like the more famous ones, like I do sense like a bit like there's like intimidating kind of feeling. So then I just like, okay lah, now I just do my own thing.
Because I always feel like once you get into like an industry and wanting to do your own business, it's always nice to like study, not to copycat or anything, but just to study and take notes from other bigger players. Because of course you would want to inspire to be them, right? So you're always hoping that they are also welcoming for, you know, new players to come in, and also helps to flourish the industry lah, in a way. That's my opinion lah. So there's like there's plenty. The market is big enough for
sure
for everyone.
Yes, for sure. And I feel like I don't know why with floristry, because because I think we all have our own like different styles and branding. So it's not so much like, oh, we will like copy your signature and then use it as mine. I don't know. I feel like it shouldn't be like what you just said. Like it shouldn't be that way.
Is it actually difficult to like because I mean, of course I don't have any background in floristry, so I don't know how many like type of styles there are, but was it difficult for you to like pinpoint your own style and to make sure that it's different from the rest in KL?
Yeah, I think I personally think I'm still kind of like discovering my own style, even though sometimes customer tells me like, oh yeah, I can see your signature style to it, and I'm like, oh mana, but like
you're also not sure, right?
Like, oh okay, I guess so. If you can see it, then good lah, you know. But I think I'm still always like discovering styles. I know I have a distinctive way of when I'm arranging. Yes, I know it's just a muscle memory thing that I put this stem here and I put that stem there because I like it like that. So I think yes, I do have that my style take on it. But it took a while because like I worked with the florist in Singapore, and then before that I also worked part-time with another florist. So when I was working part-time with the other florist, I had to mimic their style. So they taught me their style, and their style is very much...
Of course you have to follow their style.
Yes, because it's their brand, and their style is very much like into groupings. So it's like, okay, like 5 stems of hydrangea here, 5 stems of gerbera here, but it's all in one place, like hydrangeas here, gerberas here, and then... So I was very used to that. So when I started working full-time with the other florists, I started to do that in the arrangements, but it didn't speak to their style. Yeah, so then I had to learn their style.
Right.
And then when I came back to start my own business, I actually started adapting their style into my arrangements. So it took a while to like break from that. I mean, I have to be honest with you, sometimes I can still hear my ex-boss voice in my head like, hey, why you do like that? Like it should be here. And then
it's okay, it's like that. Yeah, it's the free coaching voice inside your head. Yeah.
It's like, are you
so
sure
that's
you want to put that? So and also like, I mean, like with Instagram and Pinterest, like the world's your oyster. Sometimes I see something, I'm like, hey, oh, that actually looks nice. I like the way that the movement of that arrangement look like. So it's not that I want to copy, but it's like, I think it's like it speaks to me, then I want to try and translate that also in my arrangements. If that makes sense. Yeah.
So how long have you had May in December?
Almost 5 years. Actually 5 years now.
5 years.
Yeah.
So do you feel like within those 5 years your style of arrangement also changes?
Yeah, for sure.
Because you'll be more exposed to like, I mean, social media and everything, right? So do you find yourself all of a sudden like, oh, I kind of like this style, and then you adapt it to...
definitely. I think if I pull out a picture from 2018, it will look like very different quite different to what I'm arranging now. Or maybe not so different, but maybe like little tweaks here and there. I remember one of my friend's mom, she commented, because my friend sends flowers to her mom every year for her birthday, and then her mom commented, hey, tell Shamay her arrangements improved already. From the first arrangement, I guess somehow it improved. So I think like it's also like I'm still honing the skill. It's not like something I've like totally mastered it already. So I think it would look different here and there.
So within that 5 years, how long was it at your place, your home?
I was in about 4 years. Yeah, 4 years.
4 years. And 1 year here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so why did you decide to like, it's time to have like your own studio? Yeah.
I decided because it came to a point where I was a bit, okay lah, this one is a bit selfish, but then like I wanted my own personal space because I still stay with my parents.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have my own workspace and don't want to work in my pajamas anymore already. Yeah, basically, actually, I bought more clothes, man, over this year because I had
because you have to dress
yeah.
up. But actually, it's true. My husband was saying like, even though he's staying at home, working from home, especially during the pandemic times, he would still wear, like not like
home
tie,
clothes, right? Yeah.
not like suit or whatever lah. But he still wears like casual wear office clothes because he wanted to feel like, okay, I'm in the zone. I'm waking up for work. Regardless if it's at home or whatever, I'm waking up to properly dress up lah. Because he says like, then if you start wearing like baju rumah to just do, then you'll get like very
comfortable
and also lazy to do, and you'll do other stuff. And then I was like, because before this, like especially with baking, right, you be very messy, so you don't tend to wear nice clothes lah.
That's right.
Because tepung and everything. So now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take that advice and just wear a little bit more not so slouchy lah, not so frumpy. So like
if your friend ajak you out, you can like go
I can go
lah.
out. So I'm like, okay lah, you just wear apron lah to protect the better clothes. So, but yeah, I feel like it helps if you like wake up and then you pakai nicer clothes, even though the work is still in the home,
in the house, right? Yeah. So at one point, I was also like, I like felt so, what's that word, like so sian like so, So one of my friends told me, babe, maybe you should just like. You just put a bit of eyeliner when you wake up to make you feel like, oh, I'm kind of like dressed for work or something. It does help, like somehow mentally, physically, you feel a bit different. But then I wanted to really have my own space and set that boundary for myself. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to.
Were you ever scared that you're like, oh, now I have to pay rent or I don't know, licensing or signboard or whatever, those kind of things? Did it ever occur to you that all those expenses are going to take a toll on a chip of your sales?
Yes, of course that was like the thing in my mind as well. But my dad always advised me, even like before I started floristry, so he's like, you have to do your own math, you have to know your numbers. So I did like a rough mental calculation, like, okay lah, if I rugi also, okay lah,
at least you gave it a try.
Yes, give it a shot. So and then I'm a bit more like go with the flow type of person. So I did when I moved here, so I didn't buy a lot of things. I just like slowly.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I might need this, I might need that.
Yes.
Okay.
So
instead of like, okay, I need to renovate.
Yes. Because I mean, I didn't know where this would take me. I didn't know how long I'll be here. That sort of thing. So I didn't want to overly commit to something.
So how has it been like having your own studio? What's the pros and the cons?
I think the pro is definitely I do have that sense of boundary between work and personal. So like I feel like I'm like coming to work every day, and then I have my own space, and then I get to meet customers face to face, because whereas back then at home I just did 100% online, so it's just like delivery based. But whereas here, I sometimes have customers come in, so I have that contact with customers. And then what else? I mean, there's a cafe downstairs, so got coffee. Cons, definitely the cons is the overhead, that we cannot avoid that. so that eats up into my revenue.
Yeah.
And I guess some days I do feel a bit lonely, even though like I say, even though got customers all, but some days it's just so quiet and I just feel alone. Whereas at home, my parents are at home, the TV is at home.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, okay, not so lonely, but here I feel like, oh yeah, it's like I'm by myself.
It's
here.
like quiet.
It's quiet. And yeah, I guess the challenge of like trying to draw in the traffic, that was one of the cons.
Do you feel like after, I mean, a year of having a studio, would you continue having a studio, or do you also consider like, you know what, I'm just gonna move back?
Right.
Move back to your house.
I do consider that. Actually, wait, where is this? Oh, okay. I was going to announce this at some point in time.
You can announce it here.
Yeah, guys, so special announcement is that I'm actually moving out of this space. When I cakap banyak about this space, it's suddenly like, hey, actually, I'm not going to be here. Like September is my last month. Now it's August. So
September is the
yes. So
Okay.
I'm moving out end of September.
Okay.
And
Back to your house.
back to my house.
Okay. And are you planning to look for another place?
Actually, if a nice space comes in, I would.
In Ampang.
Eventually, I am also moving to Ampang.
Yeah.
Yeah, moving to your neighborhood.
I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
So I don't have to find, because like there's no florist that's nearby my place. Got lah, but then it's not really like, it's the mainstream flowers lah.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's not the
Okay.
really
Okay lah,
aesthetic.
I have one customer already, Ampang.
aesthetic white flowers.
Yeah, because I really don't know the market in Ampang. Most of my customers' base is in PJ.
Yeah.
So it's like
same lah actually. I also don't know why I'm in Ampang. But to drive all the way here for me lah, it's like cannot imagine.
Just stay put,
So I'm just hoping that the Ampang market will grow.
Yeah.
Cannot see. Okay, what do I want to ask? Okay, so is there any like misconception that people have in terms of flower bouquets that you want customer to know?
Flowers will die. Okay,
Flowers are natural.
Flowers are living things that has their own life. So yes, but I mean, of course, when you receive the flower, I hope it's not limping and already at the dying stage. But okay, wait, sorry, that's not the misconception round. But I put it out.
I also maybe used the wrong term, but I mean that was the kind of answer that I was looking for also, because people's expectations are different, right?
Right.
Like they order fresh flowers, but they expect it to look.
Or they
like
expect to
fake
last
flowers.
forever.
Yeah.
But actually nowadays, I think more and more people are a bit more aware, or rather like aware of the how to say, the flowers have different life timeline. So yeah, but then of course, like there will be some people who be like, hey, the flower after a few days and doesn't look good. Yeah, of course. I mean, of course, but like, yeah, but I mean, of course, we would try to prolong its life.
And I think also because they don't even consider the weather, right? I mean, the weather here is definitely way different than overseas, and most other flowers are imported, right? We don't have much local flowers. I don't know.
We do have. I mean, Cameron Highlands is one of the main grower thingy. But then not as much varieties lah. But then of course we have like a lot of tropical blooms, like your birds of paradise and your heliconia and all that. So that those blooms would definitely last, cause in this weather. So yeah, I think. But then like if they like oh, I love tulips, and then, but then tulips is you know, mainly an import flower that thrives in like maybe cooler.
And it's getting hotter here also.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
hot. So how do you manage people's expectations? Do you have like a card that you say, hey,
I'm gonna die.
these are gonna, I'm gonna die soon.
I do have a card that kind of like a few tips on like how to take care of the flowers, and I also have like workshops that in my workshops I will also explain and advise people how to prolong the vast life of the blooms. So those are the few things. And like when customers come up to my studio to look at the flowers available, and they always ask me, actually everyone will ask me, how long will this last? And I won't really I won't sugarcoat it. I would just say like, probably another couple of days, or like 2, 3. Sometimes I even say like, I think this one only like maybe 3 days. So that manages their expectations also. Like, oh, if it exceeds, then it's like, oh, very good already,
Do you have like, because we had I mean both our collab. We had
Galentine.
Yes, we had an issue where the flowers, the roses had like
bloomed.
Black marks, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Correct?
One of the petals, right? The outer petals.
So, but that doesn't mean that it was damaged or anything, right?
For me, as in, unless, of course, like when I'm arranging the flowers, especially with roses, right? There are so many petals, there's so many layers. So if let's say I see like the petal is how to say, curled too much, or it's like already torn, I would pluck the petal out. But then when I send it, when it's on the way to the customer or anyone, I cannot control on the way there, the flower is still blooming, and then what happens during that process I cannot control. But for the
will they change, like even though during the delivery, can they like suddenly like,
it depends how far the delivery is, and like if it's sunny, it could change actually. I mean, it could change in the sense like it will bloom because it was out of the chiller already, and it's already in contact with like sun and the air outside, so it could still continue to bloom. So with that one, the petals were, you mentioned like black. Sometimes it's the natural. No, I wouldn't say it's naturally that color, but then to me it still looks okay lah. So I think it's very subjective, unless like it looks really like wilted or torn.
So how do you handle when customers maybe like say, hey, my flowers don't look fresh, when in fact you actually like arrange it fresh and you package it correctly and everything? So how do you deal with like maybe like those kind of feedback, and like how do you compensate? Do you compensate actually, or is there a TNC that they should?
I think because with flowers it's so subjective, kan? Like sometimes I've had comments like whereby they say like, oh, this flower, why is the petal like very curly and it doesn't look fresh? But then actually, padahal the flower is memang, that's the look of the flower. But in their mind, they're maybe quite more used to like the rose or like the more like common petal shaped flowers, that they think that this is not fresh. So I would have to firstly educate them to say that, oh, this is actually how the flower, or like that's how it looks, and then it has reached its, because the customer also, I wanted to say the patient, the customer also comment like, oh, the flower like bloom too big also problem. So bloom too big,
it's like, I'm not control of the bloom.
So okay, I guess where she's coming from is like, oh, it bloomed too big, so that therefore it won't last that long already, because it has already reached its peak, right? So which is true, it already reached its peak. But then in my mind I'm thinking, it's just for a one-day event, and it's just going to be like, probably, I don't know what she's going to do the first, but anyway, my point is that okay, the flower I had to maybe like you have to educate them that this is how the flower looks like and it has already reached its peak. Then the way to kind of like service that reaction or that comment is that then I offered to, I said okay, why don't I arrange I offered to arrange a free bouquet for her to compensate this. Maybe this wasn't what she was looking for, or maybe she wasn't used to looking at this.
Even though it may not be on your part, you would still be happy to arrange the extra flower bouquet for them?
Yeah, because at that point in time, I think she wanted either like, she didn't want a full refund, but she wanted like some form of a discount, which I felt like I would rather arrange another bouquet for you for free, to like maybe expose you to another style or another type of blooms, and try and still maintain that relationship with you, than to just like okay lah, just give you discount, because it wasn't my fault. So I didn't feel like the discount was very justifiable.
Correct.
She wanted like, I think I should just like have like
because giving
50%.
A discount is as if like you were at the wrong.
Yeah. Like I used that same bloom at that same day also. I used that bloom at one of my workshops as one of the flowers options, and the student was like, oh my gosh, I love this bloom, that particular bloom that the customer comment, it was like not nice. So it's so subjective. Like one person may think it doesn't look fresh, it's over bloom, and then another person would think, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So yeah.
Do you actually put all those like, all flowers are different, blah blah, before they purchase it? Do you think it will make? Do you do that, and do you think you'll put in that just to make a difference before they purchase it?
Yeah. So normally for all my like arrangements, actually the customers don't have they don't have a choice, but the customers leave the flower options to us.
Okay.
Yeah. So for in this instance also, she left the choice to us to make. So basically she just said, okay, normally I would say like, okay, you get to pick a color theme, and then the flower choice is based on what we choose, like what's available and what meets your budget. Unless you have a particular bloom that you really want to see, like I want a whole a whole bouquet of tulips, then I can customize that for you. Then you know what you're gonna get tulips. But then if not, then the blooms is decided by us. And and normally we would just ask the customer to trust our
that's
choice.
The risk.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Yeah,
so
same
it's a risk, and like okay lah, you get a surprise, but
nowadays with us also, I put as many disclaimers as I can just to manage expectation, because
somehow now our job is to meet people's expectations.
I'm like because it gets tiring to like you're trying to educate, but somehow from their perspective it somehow sounds like an excuse. It always sounds like an excuse, but you're just trying to like explain it how it is. And then so now I always put like, no matter if it's the same regular customer, I always put in the same disclaimer so they are reminded what they're getting and what they're purchasing. And
like for you, like some of the ingredients, is it like may not be available?
Yeah, so I always ask them to like, sometimes when they ask questions, I try to ask them to go to the website to read, because it becomes repetitive if I explain it, and I may repeat it wrongly. So I rather they go back to the website and do their own due diligence, because like I've done mine.
For sure.
So before you make any decision, it's better if you go and check yourself lah. But I realize some customers also like, they've checked, but they also double. I think they want the assurance.
Right.
So I always say okay, but then I'll also ask them again just to double check on the website whatever like
terms and
conditions, the delivery fee, so it doesn't fall back on me lah. Because I mean there's plenty of bakers, so if you don't find it suitable for me, then it's okay. I'm okay. You can shop somewhere else, it's fine. Everybody is different, everybody has different preference. But if you're okay with the TNC and whatever, then okay lah, great lah. You know, because I think before I was always trying to please people, so I'm just like, come buy from me kind of thing, like,
yes.
and trying to meet their expectations. But now it's like, no, this is my SOP, this is my TNC. If you can take it, then great. If you can't, it's okay. You know,
No, that's true. That's true.
Because I find when it's like you're trying to meet people's expectations, you're trying to like please every different type of customer, and it gets like tiring, and you in the end, if they don't like it, it kind of like backfires, or you have to somehow exhaust your resources full up to make them happy.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, so you had the website made in December since you were in Singapore.
Yeah, so I actually had like the website, so it wasn't really running, but then I had it up before I came back to Malaysia.
And it's before Instagram? Or what, did you have it at the same time?
I think around the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you wanted a website? No.
I don't know, I think I'm just very old school, because I think I'm just the old school person that like, buy things from website instead of
social media.
Actually back then also no DMs yet kan, like 2018 I don't think there was DMs. I think it was just,
I don't even take orders from DM so much.
But
because I feel like I can't really like, it's hard to filter and things like that.
It's hard, yeah.
So I would, if they inquire or anything, I'll still like
direct them
to the website, or if it's like customized, then it's through email. Like we can still converse in Instagram, in DM or WhatsApp, but the official things are all
goes through the website.
Goes through the website. Email.
Yeah. So you see, I need to learn that, because now my orders still all like WhatsApp and DMs. But I think back then it's just an old school thing. Like I felt like more legit if you got a website. So
more legit. And it's easier. Like for me, I feel like when I had the website, it was easier for other brands to collaborate with me.
That's true.
Or like companies macam
like corporates,
than finding on Instagram. So that's why I prefer to have website, whatever it is lah. Do you get more orders on the website?
No, that's
or
why.
WhatsApp,
DMs. I always ask, like when they DM me, I will always like try to still direct them, like, you can, I will copy paste the link.
But
then somehow it's like, then I get more drop offs.
Oh really?
Yeah. Because I don't know, maybe they still, I think maybe also my audience is quite young. Rather like maybe late 20s or got younger than 20s also, but mostly like working adults, but like 20s to late 30s. So I think they are more, I don't know, IG savvy or what, but they basically prefer to close the loop on WhatsApp.
But they will refer to your offerings on the website.
They would not even. They would from my IG. They would like copy the picture. Like, I want this one. Like,
I see.
How much is this? Yeah.
So do you get more customized orders than the pre-bundled flowers that you have on the website?
I do get more orders. It's not so much customers, but because how my business works is that it goes by color themes. So when they paste a picture, they don't understand that that's not what they can get. Like I can't do like the replicate of that, but rather I'll just tell them like, this is like under like the spring theme of my website, whereas it's consists of like more pastel colors. So if you want me to do that, I can do that. Then, but the flower options again, like I will choose the flowers for you, unless like you really like this one and you want me to choose the exact same flowers, which is sometimes not very possible because flowers are seasonal. I will try my best to accommodate. Then there will be like then there will be a custom fee to that. But more often than not, they're like, I just like the color scheme, so just whatever flowers we do.
And for May and December, is the same personal number?
Yes. So if people don't know, please don't simply call me.
But do you get like people calling you and you get confused with this, your friend or you're like...
Yes, no, and the thing is now there's so much scamming, right? So and because every time a number calls me, it's a number, and then I don't know whether it's a scammer or it's a customer.
Correct.
So I have to still pick up, but most times it scare me.
Yeah, Big KL's number is like full of like LHDN calling me or like
Right.
yeah, it's so many.
Yeah. Now when I pick up
please
the
go
phone,
to the balai police.
Yeah. I don't talk for a while. Then I hear electronic. I put down.
Yeah, so many. So are you considering having a separate one, or you think you can't?
At the moment, I'm still manageable. Which is, I don't know, it's a good thing or bad thing. But of course, yeah, it would be definitely nice to have a separate number.
I think like before I was using my personal number. So 01, the Big KL's number now was my personal number, and I've used it for so long. And then like at one point, I did try to have a second phone, but then like when I had the other phone, it was so leceh to charge like, you know, two phones and then tertinggal, and then like and then so I was like, whatever lah, I don't want to keep a second phone. But then I was going crazy because people maybe at that time didn't really respect your
privacy so much.
Yeah, like call at 9 p.m, like non-stop calling. And then it would drive me crazy lah, because you still have to open WhatsApp to text with your friends or family members or whatever.
So
and
you
then
will open the
you open, right? And then people would see, and then people were like, hello, you know. And I just got so irritated. So I was like, okay, it's time to get a new number. But because my personal number had a lot of like customer information, right? So that personal number in the beginning became Big KL.
The
and then when I changed, everyone was like, what? You used that number for so long, you tak sayang ke that number? I'm like, yeah, sayang lah, but I don't want to go crazy over like, I'd rather get a new number for my personal one.
True.
So now like any work related is like Big KL. I'm at peace.
Oh, that's good. That's
good. For me lah.
Yeah.
So like couldn't. I did, but I just couldn't.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because like sometimes also I open IG like at night, you want to scroll, then suddenly a DM comes in at like 11:30 p.m. and then I'm like, oh man.
But I think a DM is still
okay because I can don't open it.
Yeah.
But then I have this like, oh no, but then maybe I should just reply because the customer is awake now, then I can close the loop now. You know, that kind of thinking. Then like I don't want to lose out on that. So yeah, that part is a bit tricky, but yeah lah.
And then marketing, like
I suck at marketing, but okay.
What kind of marketing like have you done, and like what you're planning to do, and maybe like what do you hate to do, or what works, what doesn't work for you?
Okay, firstly, I really don't like. I'm really not good at marketing. I don't, until today I never really buy any ads on IG. I mean, I tried and then I feel like it didn't work out for me. Yeah, so the boosting ad thing, it didn't work out for me. Hit and misses lah, maybe one or two customers, but not really. What else? I've tried mostly IG. I've just post on IG. You know, I tried doing IG reels. Now I kind of stop a bit.
But you're actually more active than.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I feel like you're more active.
I don't really post much reels already. Oh, posting on IG. Static posts I'm okay. Static posts I'm okay.
Static posts and stories lah. You
stories.
More than I do.
Yeah, stories. I feel okay lah. Quite easy. Just like take picture and then upload. Doesn't need to be super fancy. But I do what to call that. Initially, I really don't like creating the captions for every IG post because I feel like I need to like think about what to say and things like that. But nowadays, right, I don't care already. I just say whatever I want to say, and I think that's fine. Yeah. So I don't need to feel like, okay, if I'm a customer, what would I like to read? I'm just like, if I'm me, what would I like to say? Because I'm just gonna say it.
Like, whatever lah, you know.
Yeah. I'm just like probably just write about my day and then that's it. Post. Okay lah, no. But yeah. So that. What else did I?
Do you think that posting the reels or being consistent on your IG have helped May in December?
Yeah, because most of my So IG is one, but that was really like, I mean, till today also, I think IG is my main vehicle to promote my stuff. And so, yeah, actually, I think it has also reaped most of my regular customers came from IG also. Yeah, so I think IG does work. It's just like now, I mean, there's that high period, and then now it's a bit like, okay, just like plateaued. It's like the flat line. Besides that, you know, of course, like collaborations, like me and you and with other brands, does help a bit with the exposure bit.
Are you still doing? Is it like a sort of avenue that you're still using to help boost May December?
Yeah, and I think like now I'm also like looking at it at a different angle, sort of. It's like instead of like collaborating would be nice, but then like also the meaning of collaborating now for me is like creating something together to like exclusively to our brand. So sort of like, yeah.
Do you have like, I guess, advice, just to wrap up, any advice for the future florists in KL?
Future florist, no lah, I'm not that. I don't think I'm that experienced.
Or like an advice so people will know before they jump into the floristry industry. Like what would you let them know?
Don't compare yourself to other florists. You are your own, and believe in that. Stick with it. And don't worry, things take time, and you know, you will, even if nobody buy from you also, it's okay, it's fine. If you love flowers so much, just do it. It will somehow take you to places you've never been.
Very don't compare yourself. That's actually that's always a good one for all entrepreneurs lah, right?
Yeah. Don't compare. I mean, compare in a healthy way is okay. I think like you know, oh, they're doing this, and then like maybe keeping up with the times and things like that, but not to like put yourself down or like discourage yourself.
Thank you, Shamay.
Thank
you guys. I'll put in the links down below where you can reach Shamay, and I will see you next time. Bye.